I am Tusha Singh, law researcher at Law Community, and today we have Mrs. Anu Bhuvanachandra. She is working as a partner at Outsay Legal and practicing before Honorable Supreme Court. She has done LLM in IPR and have done online courses from many international universities. We want to ask you that you're from the science background. What made you choose law, and how challenging it was to shift from science to law in the initial stages?
So I can tell you, basically, uh, I I was focused on doing engineering. Basically, my family, entire family, uh, cultivates engineers. So I am supposed to do engineering. But after my coaching in plus one and plus two, I fed up with numbers and calculations. So I thought of, like, I was just going through a entrance book. I think it was my friend's book or like that. So I just go through it. I found it so simple. Like, who is this? Who is that? This will be easy. I this was a spark in my mind that this is law is for me. So then I wrote entrance exam only for one college, that is Cochin University of Science and Technology. Since they are conducting the engineering entrance, I was already been preparing for that. So why can't I do the law one also? So finally, when the entrance results came, I got not that good mark for engineering entrance, but I secured 15th rank for law entrance. Then I make sure that this is a subject, bhai chalo, that's it. So again, the other question was, how difficult was it to
Yes, ma'am.
shift from science background to law background? There are two aspects that we can think. That is, one, science, being a science student, you must be going through a very complicated situation where you cannot apply your common sense, whereas when you come to law, it is ultimately common sense. Law, now also, and then when I was on my first day of law course, and now I can portray the same thing, that law course or law is just the common sense. If you are in trouble, you may apply your common sense and find a solution. If it is troubling others, so we might take another solution, better solution. So that is law.
Ma'am, if you were not such a successful lawyer, then what line of work do you envision yourself being into?
So I used to get several prizes for drama when I was in school. Maybe an actor, I don't know. Or I used to write poetry, so maybe a writer. I don't know. Again, so I have no other answer other than a lawyer, because it is not exaggerating, but I start the essence of law, or the crumbs of law, from the very beginning of my primary school. Because we had Helpage India contest and Helpage India movement, then ISRO essay writing competitions, and several things related to society, not law. So I used to secure prizes for that. So I was interested in that way, but since my family was concentrating on engineers, so I cooked up that I will be an engineer. But at a point, I realized I'll be a lawyer.
Ma'am, you have done LLM in IPR. So how beneficial has that proven for you in practicing as an advocate?
So thing is that there are several lawyers, including the budding lawyers, who will definitely tell you at their very early stages that I'm going for litigation, I'm going to be a corporate, I'm going to take LLM and teach everyone. When you consider law, it is if you can study, if you have to argue a case, you need to study and research the area. So in order to research, we need to know more about how to research. LLM is basically on how to research, and ultimately you will submit a thesis. Now thesis is not an important subject because other subjects are being replaced by thesis is an option, I guess. So again, I can tell you one thing: always being polished, when you polish your academics along with your litigation career, it will definitely help you. Because if I'm not interested in what are the legal updates that is coming day by day, especially during the pandemic, how can I be a successful lawyer or be a good lawyer? Even a
Very
lawyer,
true.
I'm not telling a good lawyer or a successful lawyer, but a lawyer.
So, ma'am, you have done some interesting courses from Harvard and University of Pennsylvania. How are these related or useful with Indian law, keeping in context the Indian law?
So for that, I need to go back to my LLB college days. So I'm basically coming from a very middle class family, as my father is a government servant. So you can think of the family constraints that I can just dream of an LLM from Harvard, or I cannot do it. So thing is that when you are so keen about doing something, with the limitation you can do the best. So once I did my LLB, I I always make sure that I write 3 or 4 papers and make it published in a year. So this is basically that I get self satisfactory that I am doing something. So when I passed out from the college, many of my friends and many of the people acquaintances I know, they started telling about scholarships and everything. So I thought about scholarship. Then again, after scholarship, you have to spend some money. I don't have that money. So what should I do? I don't know. So I was in a very on the one side, I can very much relate to, like, Abdul Kalam doesn't have money to do this, but at the same time, many of my friends are going, so I must also join them. So one
Right.
day, one day I realized this is come out of the fantasy, Anu. Realize you don't have even a penny with you. So do whatever you can do with your limitation. So that time I was searching for some online courses. So then I found EDS, Upgrade, such other portals giving us a lot of courses being offered by the foreign universities. So I thought of, why can't I do some specialization? It should be informative always. It will be informative. So I thought of doing that. I did it. And the best part was they enable you to interact with the person who is giving the lectures. So ultimately you are getting the same exposure as you get when you are in US. The only thing is that I'm not in US.
So, ma'am, as you mentioned before, that you have written a lot of papers. So, how do you think that these extracurricular activities of research and writing is important for law school? And how much of these activities have you partaken in when you were in your law school?
So for that, I'll definitely mention 2 important people in my career. One is our own Shamnath Bashir sir, and next is his guru, N.S. Gopalakrishnan sir, who was holding MHRD chair at our college. So one day, again, I was hearing about internship. I didn't know, since I am from science background. I didn't know what is internship. So I was just going through a dictionary, what is internship. Then I came to know I need to go somewhere for internship. So I didn't find any law firm, and my seniors were already looking for some good law firms, so I cannot go out of state. I was barred from going out of state in the very first year. So I just get into the MHRD office at my college and asked the lady that whether I'll get an internship. So she said, many people are coming, but I don't know whether you will get. Then again, a challenge. So I went to straight to director NS Gopalakrishnan sir. He said, all right, you can join. I joined there for 1 month internship, but it was a 7 month internship because I couldn't submit the research paper according to his expectation. So you can imagine how much I work for that. I
Definitely,
just
ma'am.
I just thought of sparing 1 month, but I spared there almost 7 months, and I had to do my presentations as well. It was in my first and second semester. I cannot I cannot even forget the single day. So that was the starting point. Then I found something is interesting there because my ultimate agenda was to gain internship certificate. I have to do internship. So after that, I felt it's quite interesting that you are finding new areas. What are the developments? What is the shortcomings? If a law is there, how can you criticize it? So it was something like a new fashion of law, not like a simple learning process where you read Avdar Singh and just go and write your exams. So from that onwards, I started writing papers. I started attending workshops, and that came long away. Then I started expanding my assignments to research papers. So I write assignments and then expand it, so it will become a good research paper. So I have already shared it in my LinkedIn profile because many of them are, even after LLM, they are finding it's very difficult to write a research paper. So I think this is the best idea because I I published I published mostly, I think more I think 3-digit research papers are there. I guess I didn't count, so I I so that was it. Then now also I am on a research paper on artificial intelligence, so it will definitely help you to know what is going on in the world and what is to be done, and it will definitely make you to walk into the legal issues. So that will also help you to make sure that you are theoretically and informatively well updated, and now you are ready to solve the issue being a lawyer.
Ma'am, you mentioned internship and the problems that you faced at that time since you did not have much knowledge. So, ma'am, what should be the internship plan for law students who are looking for internships, especially right now? And how can they make the most of this internship period?
So I would like to first make you understand how you can secure a job from an internship. How can you network through internships? So, internship, I did total of 10 internship in 10 semesters. So, thing is that what I felt is when you do your internship, you should join a firm or a research center where they can attend you. If you are going to some tier 1 firm on the first year itself, you cannot learn anything. You are just researching something, just giving the scrap to the associate or junior associate. That's it. You will be getting a certificate. Then if you are not learning anything from their certificate, it's just a scrap, I can tell you.
Right.
So when you choose the internship, even especially during pandemic, you should choose internship which is more research oriented when you are in the initial semesters. I'm talking about the first 3 years. When you reach this third year is the crucial point in law course when you have to choose what do you need or what your interest is. With that, you will be able to tune you to the fourth year and fifth year and do internships accordingly. So in fourth year and fifth year, if the students are in fourth years and fifth years, they can do associate law firms with their normal procedure. Like they can go through cases, or they can even help them in litigation based research, not the academic research, but the litigation based research. So you will be given a hypothetical situation or a situation which is actually going on in the law firm. So you can do that. But I think, according to me, the court experience is ultimately a great experience. When you are arguing in front of your computer, you will be like this. But when you are arguing in front of court, you will be like this. Because your enthusiasm, your need will be always according to your posture. So I always suggest most of the law students, especially the newcomers, I mean the first 3 years, they should go with research-based internship uh, or such NGOs which are simultaneously doing research in topics or domestic violence or anything like that, because pandemic is increasing, at the same time divorce is also increasing, so you should learn something. So final
Very
years,
nice.
I definitely suggest every student to associate with some law firm. In fact, lawyers should start online internships. It is if students are ready, then lawyers should welcome them. Apart from being neglecting them, how can I admit that student as a intern digitally? What is this? Yeah, he's not helping me at all. This is not the attitude of lawyers. That should not be an attitude of lawyers.
So, ma'am, how do you think that law students can optimally utilize this digital and internet interface, like you were talking about, for internships? Also, for developing their knowledge base, being as a legal profession at this point in time?
So you can definitely inculcate your knowledge through internet facilities. That it is not just reading books. You can get, nowadays you can get everything from just a click with your mouse or your fingertip. So thing is that there are several websites that provides you, being a student as well as a great researcher or a great scholar or a president. They'll definitely give you something very according to your ability to grasp. If you are not able to understand what is written in thicker law books, you will definitely go to Avatar Singh. And if you are not able to understand Avatar Singh, you will definitely go to a local book. So internet is also like that only, because you need to learn one thing, that how you can acquire knowledge within seconds or within a least time. So that can be done only when you try to use it, experience it, and everything. You can easily find, I can easily tell you, you can find a movie in torrent. Who told you you can find torrent? Who trained you to find torrent? You yourself learned it, just like that.
Ma'am, lastly, how can an organization like Law Community prove beneficial to the legal fraternity?
sure I have so many suggestions, you might fed up. So first is you can conduct classes involving methodology, that is how to learn, how to research, how to litigate, how to you must concentrate on how to. That will definitely give you popularity, as well as people will find you, हाँ ये तो अच्छा है. And second is that law community is already in platform, so you can ask for some online journals, or you can ask some lawyers to write for you, or you can even ask for some advocates to speak about their experiences, like you have called me. So you have to continue the same job. And also you can do something like legal maxims are really difficult for a law student, so you can pick up few of the legal maxims and you can just elaborate it. Don't go for the Shakespeare language, but may always use a language which is able to understand by the initial, like very primary students. Also, but there is another suggestion I always give to people is that layman is always in between lawyers and judgments. Lawyers speak a lot. Laymen just want this much. So judgment will be 144, 150 pages. Only one line will be beneficial to the what litigant. So you can either brief a case rather than writing a long essay. You can brief the case, what is ultimately given by the court to the litigant, or what public law it has served to the entire community. So this will definitely help the layman to understand what is going on.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really insightful to know all these information and whatever you have shared with us.
Thank
We
you.
are really grateful for your presence. Thank you so
Even
much for your time, ma'am.